Vasishta continued, O Ram, devoid of desire or mental colouring and free from mental conditioning, arise and proceed towards the supreme state, even as Manki did. So we're going to hear the story of Manki. I spoke in the last video about the image in the mirror and how in a way that represents our desire, our mental colouring, our mental conditioning. We can be the self that we feel we are. Well, we are the self which we feel we are. We don't need to do anything about it. Bring the attention back from the image in the mirror, back to that perennial youth, that perennial and immortal youth. And that's the supreme state. Your forebear Aja had invited me to a religious ceremony. As I descended from the air to attend this ceremony, I entered a dense forest which was dusty and hot. Whilst I was trying to go through that forest, I heard a wayfarer wail, Alas, just as this sun burns everything, the company of the wicked is productive only of sorrow and sin. Let me go to that village yonder and find some relief from fatigue. Manki is what we would call a spiritual seeker. As he was thus about to enter the next village, I said to him, Welcome, O wanderer, who has not found the right path. You cannot find eternal satisfaction in this place, inhabited by the ignorant, any more than you can quench your thirst by drinking salty water, which will only worsen your thirst. The ignorant wander aimlessly and take to the wrong paths. They do not engage themselves in self-inquiry, nor do they disengage themselves from wicked action. They function like machines here. It is better to be a snake in a dark cave. It is better to be a worm in a rock. It is better to be a lame deer in a desert than to remain in the company of ignorant people. Their company gives rise to momentary pleasure, but is destructive of self. It is poisonous. A snake in a dark cave, a worm in a rock, a lame deer in a desert. I suppose there's something a bit pathetic and loathsome about each of these images. And this is the sort of feeling you might get when you're feeling lonely. You feel like a wounded, subhuman creature. So if you have some human contact, even just a minimal amount, it can really make you feel better. It makes you feel better in yourself. So that's the temporary pleasure. But then if you come back to being by yourself and you feel subhuman once again, well, that's real. That is real. That is something you can inquire into and you can look beyond. I suppose the thing about the snake in the dark cave and the worm in a rock is they're quite invisible. Nobody's going to notice them. Even the deer in the desert, nobody's noticing it. They are completely alone and invisible to the rest of the world. That's quite a difficult thing to cope with. Some people are okay with it, but in general, most of us want to make some kind of contact and get over the ghastly feelings that we have inside. But Vasistha is telling us it's better to have these ghastly feelings. And I think because they are real, we don't want to get some kind of masochistic fetish for them, although that would be difficult. But there's something that can be looked into, examined, They're a challenge. They are saying, inquire deeply. They are encouraging us to inquire deeply. Why am I saying so? He said to me, Lord, who are you? You are radiant like an emperor, though you do not have anything. Have you quaffed nectar? You are devoid of everything, and yet you are perfectly full. What is this form of yours, O sage, which seems to be nothing and yet everything, transcendental, though seeming to rest on the earth? You are free from all desire and hope, and yet you appear to entertain desire and hope. In your consciousness, different concepts or notions arise in accordance with your own wish, and this entire universe rests in you like a seed in a fruit. So that's incredibly perceptive of Manki. His perception of Vasishta is very accurate. In order to perceive Vasishta's nature like this, there must be more to Manki than meets the eye. He seems like quite a forlorn seeker. But he recognizes something. I am a pilgrim by name Manki. I have wandered far and I desire to return to my own abode, but I do not have the energy needed to return home. Lord, the great ones cultivate friendship at first sight. I feel that I am unable to overcome this world illusion. Pray enlighten me. I reply to him, O pilgrim, I am Vasistha. Do not fear. You have indeed reached the door to emancipation. You have sought the company of man, who is characterized by self-inquiry, and therefore you have almost reached the other shore of this world appearance. This is unusual use of the word man, perhaps as a Christian reference here, because it's spelt with a capital M. And I suppose that this idea is that you're only a true man, a true human being, if you've practiced self-inquiry, if you've actually touched the nature of your own being. And clearly Manki must be ready, otherwise Vasistha wouldn't be wasting his time with him. Hence, in your mind, dispassion has arisen and there is peace. When the veils that hide the truth are removed, the truth shines by itself. Pray tell me what you wish to know. How do you propose to destroy this world illusion? Well, Manki does not seem to be very much at peace, but he's certainly in the throes of dispassion. The ordinary pleasures of the world are no good to him.